Okay, so one of the main reasons that I am always here is because I want to impart information to people. Why do I want to tell people stuff that I know is going to help them? Okay, like, oh my God, my butter is really working. It's slowly starting to clear everything. But let's get back to this. The main reason that I come here is because I have an innate, intrinsic process that says help. Always been like that since I was a kid. So let's get back to this astrology chart, shall we? Okay. So we know we need to be concentrating on the second house heavily when it comes to financial abundance. Okay. Taurus is the owner of that house. Venus rules that house. We're going to break down a lot of this today. In the second house, we are looking at not just money. Money's key to life, and there's just no way around that. I'm not going to give you no bubble gum, jump through the tulips, run through the fields process that's going to have you skip that. You cannot exist in this world without it, period. It has been around too long. It has been through so many parts of humanity's cycle that there's no way we letting go of that. So if you got thoughts of that, let go of that. Okay? If you have thoughts of loving yourself to a place where you are complete, welcome to abundance. Okay? Seriously, welcome to abundance. All right. You are to really sit down and delve into your astrology chart. I recommend Astro, I think it's Dienst or Dienst. I forget what I call it, but it's Astro Dienst. Look it up on Google. It'll take you directly to the site. You need to create a chart and you need your birth time. If you don't know your birth time, bug your daggone parents and find out what time you were born. If you don't know, see if you can get a copy of your birth certificate from the state because it is recorded. They should have it. They had it on my mother and she's in her 70s. Okay? Get your birth certificate. Period. Now, after you do that, you're going to be able to find out your blueprint as to who you are. But then you want to go and look at the second house. If it has planets in it, they're there to help propel you as you move forward in that process with that house. If it has nothing in it, I have a whole video here at YouTube. You naturally got this. You got the glow. You just don't know it. And a lot of the times what we do here on this planet is we focus on things in a way that has nothing to do with us. Take, for instance, I was told a long time ago, this woman is built to struggle. She's going to struggle. I'm going to struggle because it's kind of like the taste of winning is that much more delicious after the struggle. I know we want to just walk into the ease of everything always being okay. That is a lie. That is not truth. When you achieve a win and you've been working for that win, you really appreciate that win. There is something within the spiritual community right now where we are essentially telling people you don't have to do that type of work. That's not actually accurate. And I know that I'm going to ruffle a lot of feathers with that, but that's not accurate. The accurateness is that we come here to experience contrast. We come here to experience things that tell us, you can't do that. Oh my God, you're the wrong fit. You are not right. You are not supposed to be doing this. How dare you? You're not allowed here. We're here to experience contrast. Once we know what that contrast is, we know what we want. Plain and simple. If you're hungry, the contrast is your stomach is growling. On the other side of that, you know what you want. Sometimes you might be meandering through your mind, former tastes and stuff like that. Your taste buds are kind of like, pinging on different things, but you eventually settle on what it is that you want to taste. And you can feel it. That is every experience on this planet. It really gets boiled down to, what do you want to taste in your life? What do you want to bite into and have the sublime feeling of yes from that one thing? What is it? That is what contrast is doing for us at all times. Period. If you are a person that's homeless, you want a home. If you are a person that's hungry, you want food. If you are a person that's experiencing lack, perpetuating lack, vibrating in lack, you want to experience abundance. You want to perpetuate abundance. You want to vibrate in abundance. Or even more to the point, you want to be aware that you are vibrating in abundance. Because you always are. That's a conversation for another day. But once you realize it, the contrast of that situation has been met with what it is that you want on the other side. Every single time that you think you want something, it is because it's not there. Contrast. It's not there. If you want your mate, you want your specific person, you want your love. And listen, in the human design, I'm the right angle of the vessel of love. That's what I came here to spread, baby. Hence, I'm always in pink. Pink has been one of my most favorite colors since I was a kid. I had a pink bedroom as a little girl. Okay, and that's a long time ago. Long time ago. Pink is just one of my things. It always has. I remember doing a year of pink. We'll talk about that later. But again, if you want your specific person, the contrast is your life without them. And once they arrive, there are different contrasts that you're going to learn that you want once they get into your life. If your life is better with that person in it, there's still going to be some contrast once they arrive. Let's be clear. Nobody comes into your life and there are no arguments. There are no problems. There are no bumps. There are no speed bumps. There's no rainstorms. There are no blizzards. Do you understand? This is life. But how do you get through it? What is on the other side of that contrast? What is it that you want? You want whatever that is, and you have to figure out what it is in every situation. Take for instance, you don't want to be in a place where you're saying, I've got my special person now, and now we've reached this blizzard or this horrible storm, this tower moment that we're in, and the contrast is we're breaking up. Nobody wants that. That's why most people don't get into relationships, because they don't believe they're going to last. They think the challenge is going to be too hard. But I am here to tell you, there is contrast within contrast. There are subdivisions of different things going on within any situation at all times. And at the end of the day, what is it that you truly want that's on the other side of contrast? So if it's with your specific person, your special person, your partner, your mate, it would be generally peace. It might be passion. It might be maybe the two of you were financially solvent when you got together. I mean, completely together, and then decided to get into this big thing, and life sent you a boomerang, and you couldn't think your way out of it because that's not what you signed up for. Sign up to have situations that are full of contrast. That's what we come here to do. We come here to have a life full of contrast so that we can jump through it and have the fun. Run down the side of the river, hitting a rock every single time. But do not think for a nanosecond that even when you're in the zone, the water's not touching you. It is. You just landing on a rock every single time. What does that mean? That means that you know that you are an abundant person already. And if it's with your special person, the both of you know that you are abundant people already. And still, the water has hit you in the form of contrast, in the form of some type of hurdle that you have to get over. Okay? It is that simple. There's no relationship out here that does not face contrast. None. If it exists, it's called non-existent. It's called in the fairy tales. Because the fairy tales don't give you all the background. Life gives you the background. Life gives you the snoring at night that both of y'all may be doing. Life gives you the flatulence. It's being passed at the weirdest times. Life gives you the burnt meal that you spent so much money on, so much time getting the ingredients, and something happened and something got burnt. It doesn't matter who cooked it. Life gives you the reservation that you know you put in during a Mercury retrograde. You go up to the daggone restaurant and nobody has your reservation, and you and your mate are standing there and they're getting tired of these type of snafus happening. That's the contrast. Life gives you that. Fairy tale gives you, oh, we were sitting at the table. They don't ever tell you the background. This life is always splashing up on us while we stay even. That means the news is on. That means you could have created this amazing, amazing dinner, and your mate is called into work and they have to stay later than normal. Everything was perfect, but that didn't land. You understand what I mean? That's life happening. But still they get home later. You just got to warm stuff up. It's different. You also, you want to look at life and understand that as you run down the side of the river, right, and you hitting rocks, you landing every single time, that the contrast is always there. It's not something we escape. And I think that that's the weirdness of life, where people go, oh, the contrast is happening. And they're trying to avoid that contrast. Listen, that's that law of polarity. The duality, as some people are calling it. There, on one side is this, on the other side is that. And one is always pushing through on the other, no matter what. Okay? In order for you to engage and get what it is that you really want outside of the contrast or through the contrast, you know that ultimately what it is that you have to do is remember this is contrast. And on the other side is my answer, and that's right there. This is right contrast. Like, if you have a goal, let's say you started a business and you are working for yourself and you really want to work for yourself, but you've gotten nervous while you've had this business. Not everything has been perfect. Money has really dwindled. You don't know what's going to happen, but you want to stick at it because it is really your passion and it is what you want to do. But the contrast is that you keep getting notifications, emails, everything about people calling you, reminding you, you looking for this job? You looking for this job? Oh, this job is available. This place is hiring. This place, right? But you really want to stay in the world that you're creating for yourself. The contrast is now here comes all this stuff because you can't possibly really want this life that you're going after. Here goes what you really want. Another job that you just walked away from a job. You just said goodbye. And when you said goodbye to that job, you did not say goodbye to it to come back to it. And now here you go, you thinking I'm going to go into some other workforce and all that. And that may not be what you want to do. But the whole point is to remember that's the contrast. Remember that what's in front of you is chewed up and spit out. You already did the job thing. You already know the job thing. And people go, but what about the money? Money does not come from jobs. It does not come from other people paying you. It does not come from this finite world that everyone has set up right in front of us. And that's why it keeps coming right back in front of you, because it is a continual, consistent program of stuff that you are comfortable and familiar with. And you go, well, and I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it. I'm going to say, how does it work for you? Is it helping you with your ultimate on the other side? Is it helping you with what you want, or is it giving you more contrast? For some people, it would be if I go back to a job and I'm working for someone and the first time I hear their attitude, I'm going to want to walk away. So it may not be part of what you want. It may be more contrast that you're adding in your life. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like keep faith in things unseen. Because everything hasn't bumped from your job yet. But if something's coming in, you know it's coming in every single time. And you don't have the luxury of believing that it's coming from other people, especially if you understand that the contrast says it comes from other people. And if other people don't like you, well, where your money coming from? Where it comes. It does not come from that. It comes from you and your energy and pushing far and hard at what it is that you want to achieve. Is it hard as in like, I'm going to knock this down? No, it's hard as in I'm going to ignore this 3D world, or I'm going to ignore this stuff that's sitting right in front of me. Other stuff is happening. Like, take for instance, I have some time. I remember when I was buying my house. I ain't had a house. I ain't had no house yet. I was just setting aside money. But eventually the house appeared. Houses appeared. And I went through that heartbreak over and over again. And then I found the house. Then I got the house. And I remember the vibration I had to get into to get the house. It had nothing to do with the house. Everything to do with me and my energy and centering myself and understanding this is a beautiful experience for myself and finding love in every single thing around me, finding joy in everything around me that was happening, because it was an affirmation and contrast of what was on the other side of that contrast. Legit. I have old videos of me walking down the street from a train station giving thanks for literally everything. Everything. And then as that moment got closer, I got more weepy and emotional because now I done bought the house. Oh, now they fixing the house. Oh. And eventually I got that call and I moved in. What I'm trying to tell you is contrast serves as a place for you to forgive and also give gratitude for, so that you can stay focused on what it is. And when you are focused on what it is that you want, well, now life is changing. And understand that you're going to do things in your life that nobody else in your family has done. And really, it's not a testimony to them or a dig at them. And it's not a testimony to you or like get yourself up on a pedestal. This is, all of us came here to do this. All of us came here to do things that are on the other side of contrast. So we can, for those in our families that did not think like us, that did not move like us, we can't blame them. They did the best with what they had. But now you know better. And it's 2024. There's too much information being pushed out there. I'm coming with more information soon. And I'm getting ready to introduce this channel to something else that I do that's pretty cool. See ya.